So, we know you moms and grandmas like to play matchmaker for the singles in the family. So we are sharing today party icebreakers and other advice to help land the single in your family a date. Zack Oates is the author of Dating Never Works, ... until it does.
And it will.
And it will. We love that voice of affirmation. First, you would like to make a public apology.
No, I want to, Brooke, I want to apologize to you, the staff here, your viewers, for the mustache.
What's the deal behind the mustache?
Okay, I've been having, so we have a 3-month-old.
Yes, she's beautiful. She was out in the green room. I just died. She's so sweet.
And I have been having trouble losing the baby weight.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you have.
So the mustache is I can't shave it until I lose 10 pounds.
Oh, is that the deal?
That's the deal.
That's the self-committed goal.
Because every time I put something in my mouth, I'm like, is this worth another day of a mustache? So anyway, so I wanted to publicly apologize.
Apology accepted only because the reason behind that baby weight is so darling. Like, she is precious. Okay, lots of holiday parties, lots of family get-togethers. You see this as a big opportunity for singles to find love, potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, even before that, right? Because you go to these holiday parties and it can be kind of stressful being single. And so a lot of times singles always ask me like, okay, how do I meet someone at a party? Well, I've got 2 pickup lines that tend to work really, really well. We're
going to call these the party icebreakers of holiday party season 2017.
There we go.
Are they actually pickup lines? Because they don't sound like pickup lines at all.
Well, they're more like just, okay, for example.
Yes.
So one of them is you just walk up to someone and you say, fat penguin. And they're like, what? And you just get, I just wanted to say something to break the ice, right? And then, anyway, so that one has worked as far as just kind of like having that initial chat. But then the next one.
Yes, I was gonna say that kind of sets you up as a goofball, which might not be bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's only up to go from there is the thing.
Good point.
So the other thing is if you see someone across the room, okay, and you want to go up and talk to them, but you're not sure how to initiate the conversation, you know, you look at them, maybe make eye contact, look away, look at them, and then walk up to them and say, now, who do people say you look like? Because it's not creepy. It's a great way to just kind of start a conversation. And almost everyone has been told they look like somebody at some point.
Like a celebrity doppelganger or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Do these ever backfire?
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, do you want to tell us those success stories?
So, for example, so one time I went up to this girl and I was like, did the whole, who do people say you look like? And she goes, why? Who do you think I look like? Uh-oh. And my mind froze.
She turned those tables right on you.
And I had no idea what to say. And there was only one name that came to my head.
Oh, no.
And it was Rosie O'Donnell.
No!
But I meant like the Rosie O'Donnell in A League of Her Own, where she was like, anyway.
Like Betty in Flintstones. Yeah. You meant the cute Rosie O'Donnell.
That's what I meant. And she did not take it that way. Go figure. So needless to say, did not get that number, but it worked out well.
All right. What tips do you have for someone who maybe is less confident, who, even with those pickup lines in their back pocket, doesn't feel charged enough to go across the room and strike up conversation with a complete stranger?
Yeah, that could be kind of tough. But if... You know, once you start talking to them, the hard part typically is like, how do you get their number, right? If you're at a party, everyone's there talking, it's easy to chat with them, but then how do you get their number? Well, after the party, if you go home, find them on social media, and send them a message and say, hey, I wanted to get your number to ask you out, but you ran away before I could.
You're hiding behind the screen?
Okay, look, I don't recommend it, but you said for people who are a little bit more shy.
That's true. And
I think it's a great way to kind of to start the ball rolling. And then if they don't want to give you the number, they just have to ignore you, right? So it's now I'm not recommending it. Obviously, to ask someone out on a date, call them up, go to them in person and say, do you want to go on a date? But in those rare situations.
All right, I'll give you a pass there. We know a lot of singles dread this time of year, I'm just gonna say it, because they hate being asked about their dating status, asked about their single status by well-meaning family members and friends. Any advice for maybe what not to say to someone who could be feeling kind of out there as a single at an event?
So for those like parents, aunts, uncles.
Yes, give it to us.
Okay, so first of all, just know that if your loved one who's single, they're not sick, they're single, okay? So when you constantly ask them like, oh, why are you single? Why are you single? It's like, well, if, for example, when I was single, if I knew, I wouldn't be single, right?
Okay.
And then there's a question that they always ask that shouldn't be asked anywhere outside of a hospital, which is, what's wrong with you?
Are people really asking that?
Brooke, I'm not even kidding you. People genuinely would ask me that. Would say, what is wrong with you?
Even in jest, I think that question is so rude.
So avoid those questions. Why are you single? What's wrong with you? Just show the love, show the support, encouragement. Ask about life, hobbies, job. There's lots of things you could ask about. It's okay to ask about dating.
Well, what's the appropriate way, I was going to ask? What's the appropriate way then to ask about dating or relationships? Because that's a natural part of social circles, right? Is to ask about the people in your life.
And totally fine to say, hey, how's dating going?
How's dating going?
Right? Or, hey, I got this great book by this guy with a mustache that I'd love to share with you. But like, you know, when it comes down to it, it's like, I don't want to be set up with your weird friends, unless of course I'm that weird friend, and then please, by all means, like
let it happen. If you could give singles just one piece of advice this holiday season, Zach. We know that it's kind of pressure on when it comes to, it's a social season, right? So the pressure feels maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
What would be your one piece of advice for a single young man or young woman watching this conversation?
Take the leap.
Take the leap.
Yeah, really give something a chance that you wouldn't normally do. So my parents, for example, okay, they were each dating people. They kind of took a little break over Christmas break, and they went on their first date. 5 days later, they were engaged.
No.
So I'm not even kidding you.
Those stories always blow me away.
Yeah, so my dad's dated 2 people in his whole life. So we're like, law of averages, him and I are kind of equal, right? But when it comes down to it, like take that leap and do something you wouldn't normally do. Like, for example, I had this one girl emailed me, and she's like, hey, I saw one of your YouTube videos, and she was on a similar show that I was, and so we ended up like talking on the phone, and then she goes, why don't you come out for New Year's? And this is like 3 days before. So I flew out.
That's pressure.
And our first date was like hanging out at New Year's, and it worked out super well because we got married.
There it is.
To different people.
Oh,
so
shoot. But
it worked out.
It always works out. But that was a leap for you to get on a plane, New Year's, the pressure of the Eve kiss, all of it. You went for it.
Yeah, you just go for it.
All right,
know?
Take the leap.
Take the leap.
Good words of wisdom from the man with the mustache. There it is. How can you keep from getting discouraged? Let's leave there. How can you keep from getting discouraged this holiday season when you're seeing love and magic and holiday romance all around you?
Well, Brooke, have you ever been on an awkward date?
Oh my gosh, can I write a book?
Have you? Yeah, no, seriously though. And look, and you are like one of the coolest people in the world, right? And so it's like, here you are, cool, fun, easy to talk to, and yet awkwardness still happens with you, right? So all I'm saying is that it's part of the whole shtick, right? And you know, you may be single now, but that's okay because there's nothing wrong with being single. As I said, you know, you're single, not sick, and so just enjoy this time of life because every phase of life, there's something so beautiful about it. So enjoy it now because it only gets better.
Good words of wisdom. Where can we get your book, my friend?
Bowlofoats.com.
Look for the link on our website. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.